I'm going back to DM.
Yeah, we're DMing this game.
Maybe
again.
with my next character once Stanley's dead.
Yeah, you never know. Okay, we have started back, and hello everybody, welcome back. It's time for part 2 of today's adventure. Bo Schwartz, take it away.
So Vorel just bit the face of Quizquaz, and it was a good bite, but didn't like what he was breathing back into his mouth. It was nauseous and let go. Nash, it is now your turn.
Oh gosh. Okay. Wow. Really? Already? I felt like I just had a turn. How far am I from Oily Boy?
So you're right now. You ran up the stairs on your last turn.
Yeah.
And so on your right is Stanley dying on the ground, and Hope is trying to bring him back to stabilize him. Also to your left as you run up the stairs is Quizquaz, 4 skeletons, and Vorel biting and climbing on each other. It's a real gaggle of bodies over on the left, and you're within you could move within 5 feet of them. You're very close to them. They're up on the upper platform with you.
All right. I'm going.
They're also sorry. So last count there were. We didn't kill any skeletons on the last turn, so there's still 8 skeletons. There's 4 on Vorel. There's 4 of them that were behind you that are running up toward. 3 of them that were behind you that are running up towards your area, and there's still 1 next to Hope that just tried to hit her with the hammer.
Okay. I'm going to cast Thunder Wave. Just kidding. I'm not doing that. It'd be pretty funny, but I'm not going to do it.
He had me a believer. I was a believer on that one.
As you make your decision,
yeah,
you do notice Quizquaz looks at you, and you just hear the words "Now, Nash, now," and he winks. Now,
I have a crazy idea, but I'm worried about once I say it. Once I RP it, I feel like I'm down a road I'm not going to be able to come back from, because you could do anything you want with me after I say this.
Okay. Well, we're learning to play Dungeons and Dragons, so let's be not too harsh. I've already taught a stern lesson to Stanley.
So here's my inner dialogue.
Yeah, don't do the right thing.
My inner dialogue is this: if what he's looking for is a new host for his dream sucking, I could put my place here, get everyone else to safety, and the joke would be on Quizquaz, because he's going to try to jam that thing into the side of my head, which he doesn't know this, but that side of my head is filled with horrific tumors and awful thick hide scar tissue, and is going to be a bad scene for him.
How do you know that?
I don't know that for sure. And so in my head, since we're in desperate peril here and there's stuff going on everywhere, it enters my mind. Now, I haven't said this out loud yet. Okay, so this is just internal dialogue, me thinking of a way I can just save the team.
You're metagaming. We're just talking right now.
Yeah. So, so I'm very tempted to yell, "Take me! Take me, take my mind, and let everyone else go." That's what I say.
So without, you'd have to use your turn to maybe do a knowledge check of some kind to see if you knew that information.
Let's do that.
The only other way that you could find things out is to try them and see if they work.
All right, let's do a knowledge check. Then I have another idea.
All right, so sorry, it wouldn't be knowledge. What would be?
Is it perception? Is it nature or not nature?
Knowledge
survival?
of the abyss, of creatures of the abyss would be. I'm just looking at all the different things we have here, and I think that's going to be best served by an Arcana check.
Okay, that makes sense.
They're magical beings, but you might also arguably make a history check for maybe knowledge of this that you've learned in the past.
I like my Arcana bonus better. Am I okay using that?
Okay. Let's do that.
All right, here we go. 12. 17.
Okay, so you search your mind for what you know about demon kind, and you find that you know very little. There's nothing in your past experience that tells you that you would know for sure whether or not, trying to, basically what you're proposing is a ruse, right? So
Yeah.
I offer myself to be, as part of the deal, save my friends so that, and you get to drink my dreams. I volunteer myself as tribute, but joke's on you. My dreams are so bad that you die.
Yeah.
Or you are as confident as the actual Scott Johnson is about whether or not this will work.
Well, what I'm doing, so back to meta talk here. What I'm trying to think of here is that I would offer myself as a sacrifice. He and I have this private meeting we had without anybody else present. So I know what he wants. He's now said this to me, like, make your choice or whatever. If I sacrifice myself, even if all that stuff isn't true about my toxicity or the tumors that side of my head or any of that stuff, it still gives me a chance to sort of, again, create a further ruse, which is me getting into a chair, me being ready for the thing, and then me last minute grabbing his arm and doing something bad. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I can turn the tables on him is my thinking. So can I do any of that? Or
you can. So a turn is 6 seconds. The thing that you have to be aware of, the reality of the situation, is that your teammate enacted an openly hostile, conducted a openly hostile action towards the creature, and so in the moment he's extremely hostile towards you. So you can attempt to yell, "I offer myself as tribute, save my friends," and we can see what happens.
Instead of doing that yet, I really want to see if fire can connect, so I'm going to cast Firebolt and see if I can't set him on fire. It's a single target thing.
Okay.
Just to put everyone else at rest about I'm not going to set you all on fire.
It's a single target, so it doesn't hit anyone else.
Yeah.
There's no danger.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make your ranged attack roll.
All right, hold on. It's a 1d10.
And keep in mind, I've given you a little leeway here. Under normal circumstances, an Arcana check would be your action for the turn.
Oh, well, I don't want to screw it up. I can come back.
That's fine. I'm giving you inspiration.
Okay. I'm still feeling Hope's inspiration from earlier.
Stanley from the floor goes,
Yeah. Just a little thumbs up from the ground. Is that what I'm getting from you? Okay.
That's right.
Oof. Eesh. So
Put in a lot of hard work in today's episode with the solo encounter. So
that's
good.
That's a 9.
gosh.
Your attack roll. You're the cursed one at the table.
And
it's
aren't
like,
I kind of in?
There's always one.
Well, Varel's were pretty bad too, but aren't I in like really close proximity at this point? I'm almost point blank, right?
You are actually. If you were next to him, you'd actually, I think, cast it with disadvantage because ranged attacks next to someone are harder to hit than farther.
Right.
So you're far enough that you won't get the disadvantage.
I'm just pointing out the irony is all that I.
Did you add your +5 to the 9, or did
I
you
did?
Roll the 9?
It was a 4 + 5.
Okay. So you attempt to fire. You're now 0-3 with your firebolts. You attempt to fire it out, and you just like you're frustrated. You can't hit it broadside of a barn. You're like, phew, and the flame goes firing out past the demon, and again, Quizquaz goes, ah! And he recoils in horror at the fire, but it misses him.
All right.
Yep. So that would be your turn, unless you want to move somewhere different.
No, I'll stay where I'm at.
Okay. Hope.
All right. Seeing that, how much time would it take to light a torch? How much action?
So you can interact with one object as a what is it? Free action or bonus? Let me just get the use an object.
Okay, use object. Gotcha.
No, use an object require. So you can interact with one object for free, basically, like unsheathing a weapon. As soon as you interact with more than one object, it costs your action. So if you have to get your torch and get something to light it with, that's 2 objects, that's costs your action.
Gotcha. And then the question is, so lighting it would then be a full action, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, cool. So I couldn't do that.
Did the fireball perhaps hit the torch? She took it out.
That's something you guys can discuss. So you can do things like, rather than just feel like you're in your own bubble when you're doing your action, you can call out to somebody, hold up a torch. Varel could say, hold up a torch, or you could say, light my torch for me, and have someone else do it on their turn. As you can combo your stuff Chrono Trigger style. But yeah, right now it's too late. So unless you think of something new that you could do.
I would. So since that would take too long, I'm gonna see that skeleton with the hammer and see how close it got to Stanley, and I'm gonna jump on the skeleton and grapple it, basically, just to hold it down. Maybe make it lose its arms and drop the hammer.
Keep in mind too, as the fighter of the group, something I should tell you as a reminder. Do you get action surge at level 2, or is that right away?
Oh, let me see.
Just so you know, you can do 2 actions a turn between long rests one time. I'm just not sure if it's 2 or 1 because I'm going to check here under your.
I've got second wind.
No, it's second wind. Action surge is next level. Okay, never mind. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't want to recommend something.
No, I mean if we want to add that right now.
Yeah. Nope, you have to level up first.
All right.
So go for a grapple on the skeleton that tried to attack.
And that's strength, correct?
Yeah, you have to do strength, and I can choose dex or strength.
Cool. 19.
Defender. Oh, I'm sorry. I rolled 21. You attempt to grapple the skeleton and trip over Stanley's body.
No.
And you don't fall down, but it messes up your timing. And the skeleton steps aside, seeing you're lunging for it. Sorry. Now, do you want to move anywhere before your turn is over?
I'll come around behind the throne chair.
Okay.
Throne chair behind the throne chair. It's more casual than a throne.
The throne chair.
And I'll pull out with my free action my torch.
Okay. So you're moving behind Quizquaz or just moving behind the chair? He's jumped out from the chair now.
Yeah. So I'll be behind the chair. Quizquaz will be in front of me.
You can do that. Doing so will provoke an opportunity attack from the skeleton next to you.
You know what? Go for it.
Go for it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Confidence.
It's like Overwatch.
I got some health points to lose.
Okay, so you trip over Stanley's corpse and attempt to grapple it. The skeleton recoils back, and then light goes on. You pull out the torch and run towards behind Quizquaz, right? I have that right? Okay. And then as you go to leave that area, the skeleton takes his hammer again and swings at you and misses. You nimbly dodge out of the way and move to behind Quizquaz.
Can my tail slap him in the face a little as I run? Or would I have to roll for that?
That's it.
Just a little minor
Doesn't do any damage.
Yeah.
Just a little flourish.
Yeah.
So the skeletons attacking Varel now attempt to continue to grapple onto Varel. So roll, I guess, 8d20 again.
All right, I'm on it.
I can't get my head out of this vision of her smacking him just like as a little thing to do. Just walking by and then keep going. That's so good. Oh man, I can see it. I need to draw that is what I need to do.
All right.
Okay, so I have 18, 16, 16, 1.
Cool. So it looks like you got one hit on my 15. I had a 19, 15, a natural 20, and a 20. Normal.
Okay, so wait a sec. 15. Say them again.
So it's a 19, a 15, a natural 20, and a normal 20.
Okay, so 20, 20, 19. No, you're good. All your scores sequentially are higher than mine.
Sweet.
So the skeletons continue to attempt to grapple you. They're just climbing on top of you, trying to pin down the lizard man, unable to do so. The skeletons from the rear run up towards. So there's 3 behind. There's 4. There's 1 next, and that's the 3 remaining. Run up behind Nash, and they're running up the stairs towards you, but they're just outside of reach to hit you. But you now have 3 skeletons behind you, Nash. So that's where they are. Quizquaz is recoiling in horror from the fire being thrown at it, but undeterred, he turns around and notices Hope trying to approach him with a torch. You've now spurned his attention, and he's like, "You're not gonna light me up!" And he attacks you. He attempts to bite you. Okay. What's the increase? Okay, so 17. Is that a hit on you?
Yeah.
Okay. So now he swings around, lunges at you, and attempts to bite you, like right here in a weak, sensitive spot. Let's see. That is 4 points of piercing damage, and roll a Constitution save, please.
Point of order that might be good or bad. I think I'm supposed to roll a death save by now.
I'll get to you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
17.
17. Okay. So you take half the poison damage. So plus you take 4 points of piercing and 5 points of poison.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any resistances? I don't think so, right?
Fire resistance, but that's it.
Okay. So you take 9 points of damage. He bites onto you. It's a savage blow. There's all this oil and sweat in your face as he takes a bite on you. Stanley, you should roll a death saving throw. That is correct.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Oh my
So
gosh.
that's another. You've succeeded now on all of your saving throws.
Well,
You are now
according to
stable.
the book, no, that's not all of them. That would only be my second save. But according to the book, I don't know if you want to listen. A 20, I regain 1 hit point.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. All right, so you regain a hit point. You are no longer unconscious. Your eyes open.
But I'm
And
just
you're
laying
now-
there.
You're just laying on the ground with 1 hit point.
I'm
Okay.
like a possum.
It's like you knew you were going to get 20 and wanted to make sure you get your roll.
No, I had to look it up because I didn't know what counted as successes
Cool.
and failures.
No worries, no worries. Congratulations. So, Vorel, it is now your turn.
How do you kind of picture Rage as a DM? Do I need to wisdom to understand things? Like, there's been fire, and he screamed at it, and now Hope's holding a torch. Would I put 2 and 2 together, or am I bloodlusting?
I mean, I would go. I mean, yeah, you still have a capacity for thinking, just not for very long. So, I mean, tactically speaking, probably. But it depends on your roleplay, too. As far as the rules are concerned, you can't concentrate on anything. If you're and you haven't attacked a hostile creature since your last turn, you can also end your rage. Yeah, it doesn't say, you lose your mind in terms of thinking about anything, but it is 6 seconds. I mean, your capacity for reasoning is unchanged, I guess is what I would say.
Okay, cool. So then what I'm going to do is, over this time, I've put 2 and 2 together. It's attacking Hope. I'm going to go for a grapple and to hold him like a big snake across my body as he sort of wriggles under my armpits to expose a chest that hopefully someone can fire on easier.
Right. Okay, so that would give him disadvantage on any potential saves or anything like that. Okay.
Cool.
Yep, so go ahead and roll for grapple.
I will grapple. It is a 17.
Okay. Yep. So you attempt to grapple him, but you do manage to get your arms around him, and his skin is really oily, and he slides out like just someone covered in grease. And so you violently attempted to grab him, and he just shot out from between your arms, and is now crouched on the ground, having fallen from your grasp.
Fallen. Okay.
Like not fallen, but just shot out and down. Like he's nimbly escaped without any negative repercussion from your grapple.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's a slimy bar of soap in the prison.
Yep, you nailed it. Okay. Do you need to move or have any bonus actions?
No, I will remain over him.
Okay. Nash. Sorry.
Nash could not be more pissed about his partners, his fellow adventurers, seeing just how shitty a shot he is. So he wants to attempt one more time a firebolt to try and stop this creature, set it aflame.
Okay, make a ranged attack, please.
Okay.
+5.
15, so 20.
Yes!
Okay, so this time, the fourth firebolt, you're attempting. You stretch the strands of arcane energies between your fingers and then fire out your firebolt. You're very close, and this time it hits him. Roll your damage dice.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a D6s, right?
D10. It's 1d10
Oh,
fire
10s?
damage.
Are they 10s? Okay.
Yeah.
2 D10s?
Yes.
Okay.
No, 1d10.
Oh,
1d10.
sorry. 12.
12. Okay. So the fire connects, and whoosh, he's completely lit aflame, and there's no part of his body that you see that is not covered now in fire. And you hear, "Ah! The burn!" And he's screaming in pain, and he just drops to the ground immediately. And what did you say you rolled again? Sorry.
I rolled a 50, or sorry, what'd I say? 15?
No, it was a 1d10. Couldn't be 15.
Oh, no. What? I may have rolled the wrong dice. Hold on.
Oh, that never happens.
Shit. Yeah, that was me. Hold on. I thought I had the right one.
No, he's talking about for your damage, Scott.
No, I
Your
know.
damage.
I know. All right, I got to re-roll that. I rolled the wrong die.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. 8.
8. Okay, so because he's vulnerable to the to fire, he takes 16 points of damage,
All right.
Nice.
and he's lit aflame, and he's just on the ground, writhing in pain, incapacitated. Ah! And you just see this flame. Now there is oil connecting him to Vorel, and so that oil also begins to light a flame, and Vorel is now on fire as well.
Now, what?
Every time.
Why is it always the lizard? I'm not trying to target
he
him.
wasn't nailed with the full brunt of the magical effect, so he's only going to take a small amount of damage at this time. Do you have resistance to fire?
No.
Of course, it didn't catch her.
Three
on fire.
points of fire damage
Oh,
on
yeah,
you,
that's fine.
and you're not covered in it completely. It's just you have oil on you, and it's flaming. So now you're on fire as well. All right. Did you want to move or do anything else, Nash?
You know what this is what I think. I think our DM has been playing a lot of Divinity, that Divinity game,
Yeah, I think this is wrong.
because you catch all kinds of shit on fire in that game. I think I'm going to, for RP reasons, I'm going to say, Vorel, I'm sorry, that wasn't on purpose, and then I'm going to stay right where I'm at.
Now,
Because the lizard's been told a story by freaking Fancy Boy over there. He's
You don't
already.
know
You
that.
don't know that though.
Oh, I was here for it, but yeah, you're right. I forgot what I was here or not here for. You're right.
Okay. So next up, Stanley.
And the jury will disregard the previous statement.
All right, the guy is still up. He's on fire, but he's still up, right?
He's on the ground, writhing in pain at this point.
Oh,
He's
all right.
prone.
Uh,
He's not dead. He's screaming.
do I have to stand to cast a spell on myself?
If
Can I
you are,
continue to lay down on the ground pretending to be
You're lying
dead?
down prone. The prone status. Your movement is a crawl, so it's like difficult terrain. The creature has disadvantage on attack rolls, and attack rolls against the creature has advantage against you. It takes half your movement to stand up. If your spell doesn't require an attack roll, then you're probably fine to do it, unless you need some somatic gesturing reasons. Or
Oh, you know
materials.
what? It is vocal, and that could tell the skeletons that I'm alive. I just don't want to get hit by skeletons. You know how it is.
Okay. Well, do what you got to do.
So I'm gonna.
It might be
stand
better
up.
to have more hit points than less hit.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand up, and I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
So let's see what that is. That is 9 hit points, which will bring me back to full. Thanks, me.
Okay.
And then, okay, so I'm sorry I wasn't paying the best attention in the world because I assumed I was going to be down through this entire thing. Where are skeletons in relation to me
So
right now?
You're standing in front of the throne. Imelda's sitting in the throne, staring into staring straight ahead, unmoved. There is a skeleton to your right that was previously attacking you and Hope. There are 4 skeletons dangling off of Varel. Quizquaz is on the ground in front of him. Hope is behind Quizquaz. There are 3 skeletons running up the set of stairs behind you.
If I move, am I going to get an opportunity attack on me or any close enough for that?
No, the skeleton already had an opportunity attack this round, so it's expended.
Okay, I am going to
Its
move.
reaction is expended.
Let's see. I want to keep Quizquaz within 60 feet, but move as far away from skeletons as possible.
Little
Okay,
strafing
so-
move there. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, the best place might be to run past Varel behind him, behind the throne area.
Yeah, that's where I'll
Yeah,
go.
you can move up to 30 feet behind him. Okay, so you run behind Hope and Stanley and Quizquaz and that whole mess, sort of at a range distance, putting maximum distance between the other 4 skeletons. And, okay. But you can only move 15 feet. You used 15 to
Oh,
stand.
right. Yeah.
So you're not that far behind them, but you've moved far away from the skeletons. Okay. Hope?
All
your turn.
right. Crisscross is on the floor screaming. Is he moving around so much it would be a disadvantage to aim at his head?
You would have advantage because he's prone.
Okay, cool. I'll take the advantage and I'll aim at him with my
Okay.
shotgun.
Yeah.
After using my bonus action for a second wind to get some health back.
Okay, cool. Bonus act, roll your healing.
All right, so that's
So I think
6
it's a-
health back. Yeah. All right, and now, so advantage is a +2.
It's two dice. 2 dice.
2 dice, and I
2
take the
d20s.
highest.
Take the high results. Yeah.
Cool. Highest one is a natural 20.
Okay. So you pick up your shotgun, you aim it at
His face.
at his face, and describe. Roll your damage dice. It's 2d6. Actually, you roll 4d6, right? A critical hit is double the damage dice.
It looks like 2d8 plus 3.
So roll 4d8 plus 3.
All right, so we are looking at 7, 9, so 17, so 20 damage.
Okay.
Oh my
And
god.
Jeez.
Describe the carnage that ensued.
All right, well, I stood up and I was clutching my neck where he bit and it was bleeding out. But luckily, my body heals fast because I've got demon blood in me. And I point the gun down and I said, "We just wanted to talk." And I pull the trigger.
Okay, and so you pull the trigger. It connects square in his face. You just see, if you slow down in slow motion, the bullet penetrates his head, and it explodes. Fire and oil explodes everywhere. You are covered in it. There's a giant explosion that doesn't knock anyone back, but fires all over the place. The skeletons hanging off of Varel fly down the set of stairs because they can't hold on. And as the explosion, as the fire and oil comes out, you see red blood. There's a mist, just a,
Oh.
and there, where Quizquaz was, all you see is a pool of oil and blood.
Oof.
And the demon that was there is just no more. It just blew up out of existence
Nice.
without any sound, without any scream.
Where is the old lady with the straw on the head still around? Or that
Yeah,
wasn't
so
her? Okay.
Nash, you go to look at the old lady with the straw on her
I love it.
and you see her flesh begins to melt, and so her skin just oozes down off of her face. One eyeball sort of hangs down, and her skin melts away into this pink pool of blood and viscera, and just the skeletons remained. And as you watch that, you hear the skeletons, you hear lots of clicking, and you see one by one the skeletons, as they maneuver towards you to continue attacking, fall to the ground and just fall apart into like random piles of bones. And after a moment, the room is silent, but the stench of oil, blood, and decaying flesh fills the room. You guys are choking on the acrid air. Yeah, and it's all quiet for a moment as you all stand there.
You all right, Stanley?
I'm doing okay. Looks like you've got everything well under control. I'm sorry about that, everybody. But look, he knew that he could get out of here. He knew that the way was open. And I didn't trust that he wasn't going to go up and fetch someone from the city that we are responsible for and do the same thing to them that he was doing to the gooey queen back there.
I'll start searching around the area where the demon died. Just touch.
Yeah.
Touching it, sifting through it.
I am pursuing the skeleton that flew off me and jumped on top with my flaming fist. I'm putting them out in the ground, just thinking it's still going.
Varel, it's over. Varel, stop. Stop.
Oh,
It's done. He's dead.
we won.
We won.
It was honorable.
It was kind of gross.
That is unrelated.
Should we be rummaging around for another way, either out or through yet?
Looking around the room, you see that there was 2 exits. The way you came through the sewer passage that you crawled through, and there's a door just on the right. It was very difficult to see, but behind the throne area, that's pushed open because some skeletons burst forth from that room. Yeah.
Okay. The reason I ask is we should, as a team, remind ourselves, I guess, of why we're going deeper. Like our ultimate goal here. She fixed the machinery.
I just wanted to explore.
That's right.
I
That's
saw
right.
alive skeletons.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no there was no story objective that made you guys come this way.
I need to remind everybody that while this has been a fun little adventure, and I'm so glad we managed to kill a demon, our goal is to restore water to Dust Hill, which we still have not done.
It means we've got to go back. We can't go.
But
through
there
this
is one
again.
room that was open, right?
She's so into it.
I'll tell you guys to go ahead. I won't bring anyone. You guys go back. I'll join up soon. I want to check out that room.
Okay.
I think lessons have been learned. We should probably all stick together.
We're using the buddy system. No breaking up anymore. Lizard's in front. I'm in back. We do this together, or we don't do it at all.
So Nash, as you guys are having this conversation, something about Melda's melted corpse piques your attention. You feel an energy emanating from that direction.
Does my eye ache a little bit?
Yes.
Okay. My eye aches. Oh, you guys, my eye's totally aching.
What?
And I'm wait. We're not going anywhere yet. Can I go? I want to go over there and do like a, I don't know, perception check or something. Can I do that?
You can perceive. You could do Arcana. You could do an investigation if you want to look at the corpse.
Let's do investigation.
Okay.
Simple investigation.
Roll the dice, please.
All right, hold on. I rolled. So that's 3. Hold on. 14.
Okay. So there's just this. There's a set of bones that would be Imelda's skeleton, and sort of in between it is like melted. It's like there was ice cream on her body, and the ice cream melted. So it's just like red, pink, swirly flesh there, and you sort of poke your finger into the flesh and around, and there's actually a little lump around her neck. And as you use your finger to sort of look around, you actually see that there's a necklace on that she's wearing, and this seems to be the source of energy that you're detecting. It's around her. It's a golden necklace that has a red gem in the middle.
I'd like to take this necklace, but not.
Okay.
I want them not to know I've done it. So can I do sleight of hand? I have no bonus to that.
You'll have to distract them. They're all looking at you, right?
Yeah, that's true. I called attention to it.
I mean, you could sleight of hand. You just have to beat our passive perception.
Yeah.
No, they're all looking. Like,
we're looking right at him.
You can't use a roll to do the impossible.
Okay.
If someone's staring at you, there's no way for something to happen. A roll won't.
Okay. So I didn't
I can
realize
let you
that.
roll, but I'm giving you the benefit.
No, that's totally fine.
In
So
that case, Stanley says, "What you got there, Nash?"
Like what you would do is say, like, I point behind the players and say, "What's that?" And if they all happen to look, then you could say, "I do a sleight of hand and steal it."
right. I'm not
Yeah.
going to do that though. I'm going to do.
But you actually did the opposite. You said, "We're sticking together," and I'm.
Yeah, I know. I realize that as well. I don't want to throw any weird mixed signals. The reason I'm even considering this internally is that he was trying to make me a pact, a deal, and I'm piqued as to what the hell that all came from, where he's from, how this is possible. And in my head, I'm thinking, ooh, a shiny object that may lead me further down this road, and I don't necessarily need to share that with anybody. But instead, I think better of myself and think, no, we're still a team. In fact, I've been rallying this team. There's no reason for me to go against this. So I immediately cast Thunderwave, kill everybody, and run out of there with a knife. No, I pick it up and I turn around and I hold it sort of out for everyone to sort of see.
Okay, so you pick it up, and as you touch it, you feel that this necklace, like, so you gently remove it from her without care to, break any of the bones or anything. There is flesh dripping from it, so your hands are now covered in this fleshy substance.
Okay.
You show it out for everyone to see. It drips, bloop, bloop, blood, centuries old blood, and but you do feel a power emanating from this, but you're not entirely sure what it is. But it feels as though it has magical powers.
That's me feeling it.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
All right. So you guys are seeing this. Anybody want to pipe in?
So I guess just as a little thing, because I'm sort of prompting you, but as the resident Arcana expert, you can investigate to sort of identify what the magic... Make an attempt to identify what the magic properties are of an item or thing that you find.
Okay, let's do an Arcana check.
Okay.
Oh, geez. 8. Jeez Louises.
And so you look at it and you realize that there's some sort of magic here that's designed to protect, but you're not quite clear on what exactly that is.
Designed to protect, you say?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, what can you tell us about that necklace there?
There's something at play here. I don't know quite what it is, but it's got something to do with protection.
Didn't do a very good job with the queen.
No. Always wear a condom. I would say that this thing is, I have a theory. Can I share my theory, Dungeon Master?
Okay.
My theory is this is what was keeping her alive. This was part, at least, of what was preserving her and protecting her from full death. But I don't know. I checked with all my knowledge, and I'm not sure. So don't count any of this as fact.
Well, it was still around her neck at the time she... liquefied, so I'm not entirely sure if it would have been completely preserving her. But...
Perhaps she needed him to complete the connection, and without him, there's no point. He held power over the amulet, therefore the woman, and without him, this could be useless. But again, I don't want to say that for sure because we could use this. This could be something we could use.
Well, perhaps we hold on to it unless anybody in particular is feeling quite brave to throw it on.
I'll throw it out.
She's so stoked all the time. I love it. Hope, you act like you'd like to wear this. I don't know.
I will wear it, and once we find out what it does, we can figure out who should wear it more.
I say we draw straws. Bo, can we draw straws? Like, just with a roll?
If you want to, sure.
Highest number.
I'm not about to draw a straw to see if I put a crazy magical necklace around my neck.
Fine. You're a coward and a fool. Stand over there. So then we take... Who's with me? Who wants to roll for this? To pull straws to decide who's going to wear this and who isn't. I'm not... Hope shouldn't just do it. This could hurt her. It could damage her.
Do you
I'm
walk
half demon,
around
it's
with
all right.
straws in your hand all the time? Where did you even find it?
Could
Maybe
use skeleton bones.
fingers.
Yeah.
Skeleton fingers. That's what I'm doing. I'm gathering them up. I've got pinkies. I've got some pinkies. I've got some.
2 middle fingers and a pinky.
That's right. 2 middle fingers and a pinky are in my hand now, and I've situated them so that there's 2. They all look the same, but underneath my hand, one's shorter.
Okay.
And are you two? Are you men? Are you lizard enough? And are you tiefling enough to do this with me and vote this way?
My stance on curses is still rather firm, but we have been victorious this day, and Stanley, I feel we should all join in this team-building exercise.
You don't have to force him, Varel.
I'm good. I'm here to support the team and just enjoy what all you are doing, but I'm not going to put on that necklace, Varel. I'll tell you what, I will take the Hillmaster's necklace if you would like to switch out.
No, very good.
Coward. That's what I say under my breath. Coward.
Okay. So 3 of you are engaged in it. Why don't you? I mean, you're making the rules, Scott. Why don't you tell people?
Everyone roll a d6, or sorry, yeah, 6-sided dice. Let's see who rolls the lowest number.
I got a 2.
I got a 3. Damn it. All right, well, I guess it goes to Hope, but at least we did this in a democratic way.
No guilt. No guilt, everyone, as I
Okay.
put the necklace on around my...
For the record, I don't agree with any of this, and I think this is dangerous, but fair and square, put it on.
All right, Hope, you take the necklace and put it around your neck and close the clasp. It's a gorgeous red gem that's in there. It's shiny, bright.
Does it clash with my maroon skin tone?
It's not information a dungeon master can give to
Alright.
He must remain impartial.
you. So as you put it on, all of a sudden you feel that your breathing is better. Like you take these long, deep breaths, and your body feels invigorated, like you woke up from a great sleep, had a decent breakfast, and are ready to go out and take a jog. You feel healthy.
I feel healthy.
And in fact, you feel like there's no disease in this world that could stop you. Your body's good. Add the Periapt of Health to your inventory.
Ooh.
All right.
I will put the spelling in our Slack. 'Cause
Thank you.
so you can search for it and add it to your character sheet. The Periapt of Health makes you immune to contracting any disease while you wear the pendant.
Mike,
And if you have a disease, the effects of the disease are suppressed while you wear it.
Okay.
my caution and Stanley's cowardice have left us empty-handed during this loot roll.
There's still another room.
Are you saying that, or are you?
No, it's just all internal
Stop saying
dialogue.
that.
It's internal dialogue. It's just my little Nash brain going.
Cool. Sweet.
awesome.
So this could be passed around then.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's check out the other room if we're done handing out jewelry.
Okay. So as a group, you move towards the next room and you peer in and see that it is a royal bedchamber. That there is an ornate, very large bed, and the room is circular and moves out. There are dressers.
This
And
is
there
where
is-
the magic happens.
There are chests, and there are just various like mannequins with, I mean, there's nothing on them but things that would hold clothes and things of that nature. There's a broken mirror off to the side. There's ornate decorations on the walls, like painting frames but no painting inside where the canvas would have rotted. And there looks to be nothing living in here. It doesn't appear to be much, but maybe a search would yield some results, if anything.
Yeah, I'll investigate, see if there's anything worthwhile.
Okay, so you guys go through looking for what kind of goodies might be in here.
Yeah, Let's
as you
sack
dig
the
through,
plane.
most of what you find are in a chest near the bed. Was just laying open, so no need to worry about any traps or anything like that. Inside the chest, you see that there are a bunch of gold pieces in the chest. There's a little statue of a hawk in there. There appears to be some kind of ribbon that you might wear in your hair. You spy a pair of iron dice. And you see an iron ring in there, and there's a fine set of clothing sort of folded up onto one side for a dwarf. In addition to that, you also see a pair of sunglasses, aviator sunglasses, on top of the clothing, and there's also some kind of a what looks to be a universal spanner, like a wrench of some kind.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'll immediately jump for the wrench.
Yeah.
Okay, so you reach in and grab the wrench, and what's weird is as you grab it and look at it, it feels like it's changing shape as you hold it in your hand.
And I'll hold it up. Am I crazy? Is this thing changing? Watch it. Hold it. Compare it to my face.
Is it changing?
The rest of the party does see that it moves every now and then.
It
into
is
a different
moving.
shape.
Weird.
And so you find as you think about like an 1/8-inch wrench, the head of the wrench gets smaller, but then as you think about 3/4 wrench, it gets large and now is a 3/4 wrench. The wrench seems to mold and change shape to the size of wrench that you think you need, but there's no like adjustable lever on it. It just seems to have this magical property.
Hope, it seems like your wrench is changing depending on what we need. Think of a cheeseburger.
I think of a cheeseburger.
So it doesn't change into a cheese.
Shit, it only does
Sorry.
wrenches. Ah.
Well,
It seems to mold and change, and then gets hardened when it's at the setting that it needs to be and looks usable. But then mold, it's a strange metal. It's blowing your mind right now. It's just like,
yeah. So
how does this even
I'm
work?
going to be in the corner just playing with this thing.
Okay,
Stanley
so
looks astounded and then slowly turns his head to Nash and says, "Do you eat cheeseburgers often?"
Listen, there was no greater thrill or treat when I worked in the deepest parts of the solar mines than we'd steal a guard's cheeseburger. They're fantastic. Even without cheese, I'd eat one. Just regular burgers, fine. So here's a little interaction we had there. And John, so that means me and Stanley
You've already had an DM inspiration today.
Yeah, me and Stanley are, we're building bridges, not tearing them down. We're not burning them. No. It's all about cheeseburgers.
So add +1 to your relationship score.
I'm gonna reach in and take the dice.
Okay, so add the iron dice to your inventory. Do you want to split up the gold between the party? There's 90 gold. Split
Wait.
4 ways is something.
Before you do that, I would like to. I grab the ring.
Okay.
And I put it
Take
on.
the iron ring. Mm-hmm.
And as I'm putting it on, I say, Varel, even if you decide not to keep them, I have to see what a lizard man looks like in a pair of sunglasses.
Oh, very well. And I walk over and put them on, and I assume they are dwarven. And
They're more human-sized actually, but they're still way too small for you.
And like a dog, they would, and my eyes even further on the sides. They sort of rest on the top of my nose, not covering my eyes in the least.
They do nothing to help block out any light.
But from the front, do I look cool?
We all have a jovial laugh, though, and it brings us
Yes.
closer together. That's
You
the
look cool.
All right, so add aviators to your inventory. Aviator sunglasses to your inventory.
And then, for the record, these are like Poncherelli from Chips, right? Those kind of glasses, like. Big.
Sure, whatever you guys want to imagine. I'm leaving that flexible to you guys.
Oh, you have no
Aviator
idea.
glasses.
I'm way too visual of a person. Everything about this is wonderful. So.
Okay, let me
keep
look
those.
up aviator glasses here. I mean, they look like how you imagine they would from.
Yeah,
I'm
like
not-
if
yeah.
If I'm flying Blue Thunder, this is what I wear.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a large quantity of gold in here. Now, do we want one of us to hold on to it, or do we want to split it up now?
It seems heavy. who, unless we're making Varel carry it, I don't see how we shouldn't split it up. We've all, we should all
there
be part
is a
of the burden.
logistics issue when it comes to our friend Vorel. He does not have pockets.
Does he
He's
have
got folds.
Does he have? Yeah, I was going to ask. Does he have like a?
Ew, he's got a coin fold? Ugh.
I don't know.
That's not canon.
That's up
Gotta
to
clean
Kyle.
it regularly.
That was more just a joke.
Does he have
But
any
I don't know.
pouches? Lizard pouches? No. All right. Yeah, you make a good point. Are there any sacks nearby or anything we could put the gold in?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you guys have your backpacks. Those of you with inventory items.
As you
I,
would have
I can hold on to the gold, and we can divvy it out once we get out of here.
Works
get-
for me.
I give him a sideways glance, again feeling that sense of mistrust. But our cheeseburger conversation has dulled the sword a little, so it's okay. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna let it happen.
Add 90 gold to your inventory. All right. There's still a little statue, a stone statuette of a hawk in the chest. There's the ribbon, this fancy ribbon, and the fancy clothes remaining. Nash, make sure to add the iron ring that you said you took to your inventory.
Right.
You just have to probably write it in where your possessions go. I
Yeah.
don't think there's an equipment called iron ring.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Is there any arcane sense coming from the statue, or does it just seem like a stone statue?
Are you asking me or are you asking Nash?
I can do an arcane. Let me check out that statue. There may be more here than just a trinket. So
Okay.
I'm going to roll an Arcana check on that thing.
Mm-hmm.
17.
Okay, you investigate the hawk statue, and you sense nothing of magical interest from it.
Sorry, 22 because I forgot the +5.
All right, you sense even stronger that there's nothing of magical interest from this. You're even more certain than you were a second ago that this is just like some piece of art that's in there that might be worth something to the right person, but doesn't otherwise benign.
All right, so
Magical
I handle it for a moment and I say there's nothing magical or great about this, but it could fetch a fine coin if anyone wants to carry this. I don't need money or script, so unless someone else wants it, we'll leave it here.
I'll go ahead and take it.
Okay.
Of
I'll take
course,
the
you.
ribbon.
Stone statue of a hawk to your inventory. Add a ribbon to your inventory. All right, and besides the fine clothes, there's nothing else in this particular chest, and the room's been sort of torn apart, and nothing's been found of value.
Okay.
What of our knight friend?
Knight friend?
Yes, the stalwart knight we met on the way in.
Oh,
He means the robot.
well, we should maybe go check on it. The problem is, I don't think it had long to last. I asked it to see if it could make its way into the chamber, and it never showed, so my guess is it either hasn't finished its work or it's no longer functioning. Shall we go check on it?
We have nowhere else to go. Let's go back, check on him, and keep making our way back to the surface.
Okay, so you leave the royal bedchamber, walk across the throne room. Still heavy smoke hanging in the air. Everyone gets down on their fours and walks into the sewer grate and through the other side. As you exit the sewer area, you all open up to see a scene of there's a pile of skeleton corpses surrounding the destroyed metal body of this droid. It's in about 5 or 6 pieces. The scene looks as though C4N-D13 was attacked out here during the altercation and is now in pieces.
I'll walk over and I'll find the coolest looking screw piece I can of this amazing robot, and I'll pocket that.
Okay, so the coolest looking thing that you find is like looks to be some sort of, I don't know, it's got a lot of little wires and a lot of little circuit boards, and there's like a little round circular, like, looks like some sort of computer core of some kind. You're not really familiar with it. It all looks so alien to you, but it's got a lot of different colors on it and lights, and looks interesting to you. So let's say you get a positronic matrix, a dead positronic matrix
Nice.
to your inventory, or a deactivated positronic matrix.
Is there
We
any,
escaped. There is a naked man in the area we must find.
is there a way for her to do any kind of check on that, to have like her engineering skills come into play to find out what it's good for or what she could do with it, or no?
I mean, you could attempt to.
Sure. That would be wisdom.
And that's vehicle repair. Knowledge would be the int one. Intelligence, and you're not proficient in it.
14.
Okay. So you recognize screws, you recognize connections. As you play with some of it, you're like, oh, you can figure out how they connect, but you have zero idea how any of this works. You wouldn't even know where to begin it to repair the life form that this was. It's intimidating in that regard.
All right.
Well, it looks like we should probably make our way back. How is everybody feeling? Is anybody still damaged after that last encounter?
I showcase my burned arms and bit chest.
And with pride, though, right?
Yes, well, of course.
Yeah.
And this one.
Yeah.
And this one I got in the desert. This one.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and cast a Cure Wounds on Vorel.
Let him know how much he gets healed with.
5 hit points.
Nice.
Ooh.
Soothing. Thank you.
What's your deficit now? What are you at?
I'm only down 4 at the moment,
okay.
so I'm back to 11.
All right.
I mean, you're now currently in the hallway area with the train track and the 2 stone paths on either side.
Do they go on, or are they all collapsed down? And...
So the continuation on is cave-in at the end of this particular hall. There was a cave-in at the other end where you exited from the pantry. And in this hallway, there were the 2 other exits, which was, as Nash and Hope explored, the medical quarters and the royal quarters off to the left.
It is clear that this will not be our final time exploring these roads, and we will find more in our travels.
I agree, but I do think we need to get back and finish helping Dust Hill. I don't know how many more skeletons we might run into. They're not exactly strong, but I do think we need to be aware as we make our way back. Does everybody feel good about proceeding?
We've
Yes.
got to get out of here. I'm going crazy. I need sunlight. I need something.
Okay. So you make your way down the carefully. You hear no noises and encounter no forms of life or activity. You now approach the doorway to the pantry, and you're all standing around the doorway.
Is it open or closed?
It's closed.
Okay.
Can I listen to the door to hear if I hear movement from the other side?
Okay, roll survival, please.
$18.
You hear no sound. It's quiet, except for the sort of background of maybe wind rushing through unseen places. There's no noises.
Seems like it could be safe.
I think they all died with the demon.
Yes, curse appears to be lifted, and I open the door.
Okay, you open the door to the pantry, and you're greeted with the smell of stinky feet. What did I say? Cheese, stinky feet.
You said
and
feet. You said it started out like cheese and then eventually went feet.
Yeah, it's still more on the feet side. You see the air has settled into something a little less viscous.
I feel like this entire dungeon is an example of a place that while Nash could make it through, Scott would definitely not make it through.
Oh no, yeah, you're not wrong.
We probably would have lost him at the latrine where he needed to retrieve keys from.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That is where you would have lost me. It's like trying to.
So now you're in the room, and there's the door to the kitchen, which is also closed behind you. When last you left it, you'd created a bit of an altercation, Varel.
But now just collapsed skeletons where they sort of stood and...
Well, the door's closed, so
Oh.
I'm waiting to see if somebody wants to open.
No, I'm under the assumption curse is lifted. I open it.
Okay, so you proceed through and you find your theory is in fact correct. You see all the skeletons lying on the ground in states of what appear to be shock, maybe. It's that they just have fallen in place wherever they were. You move through the kitchen into the great hall. All the people that were sitting at the table feasting are now like lying with their head on the tables, all seemingly dead or, gone from whatever realm they were in. You make your way to the door, the entranceway where you came from, and it's all quiet. There's no more chattering teeth. Nothing of that nature. Are you continuing on still?
That door closed also?
Yeah. Well, there's no door. This is the archway where there's the two dwarf statues on either side.
Fellow travelers, do you think these skeletons have lost their animation because we've killed the demon?
I think so. I think the pact was ended between the demon and the queen.
They were all connected. At least that's what it
I
seems.
think we're safe to move on. I think at the very least we should probably at least get back to the engine repair room.
Okay. So you guys continue on back through the cave through whence you came, and you get back to the river. Nothing appears to have changed, but you do have to make your way across the river again.
Oh, with gusto. I dive in.
You dive into the water and start swimming. Are you ferrying people across, or people?
I will happily
Yes.
ferry.
Okay, so you ferry your friends across without incident. You yourself, are you sticking around for an extended swim? The engine is still running. You hear the boom, 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 boom of the pump that you guys repaired. Still functioning normally without a vent. So as you're swimming, Vorel, and enjoying this, something shiny catches your eye off in the corner near where the wall and the river dips underground.
Start swimming towards it.
All right. As you get closer towards it, you see that there's a steel, like a Super Mario mushroom, how it's like has a top area and a bottom area. Think of two of those pasted in together.
Yeah.
Like upside down, so that there's this mushroom head on one side and one side. It's this strange device, sort of sunk into the ground, very dirty, but a piece of it is shining, and a glint caught your eye from a torch.
I will remove it from its paddling with my legs.
Sure, you pick it up, and as you do, if some water hits it and washes off some of it, and you see underneath on the inside are a bunch of hooks, look like fishing hooks. Really large, nasty ones on the underside of the mushroom head area. Very strange looking device, and you notice some text scrawled out in it in Elvish. Which can you read Elvish?
No, these are fancy words. I surely know someone.
There's a strange text written on it.
I will announce I found something. A buzzsaw sandwich of some kind.
Bring it on over. Let's take a look at it.
And I'll swim it on over.
Okay. So you
Staying in the water because I'm enjoying this to the last moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay. So you show it to John. John, you see the Elvish written on it. And you see clearly it says the following. This podcast be the property of John Scottson. Reward if returned. Shardnock Plains.
It's gibberish.
Oh wait, do you read this aloud, John?
Yeah, I read it out loud.
Okay, and you said Shardnock Plains?
That's right.
Shardnock.
Shard apostrophe knock N-O-C-K Plains.
What did it say again? This podcast be the
Property of John Scottson.
Okay.
Reward if returned. Shardnock Plains.
I've heard of these plains. It's far from here. Oh yeah. Terrible place. If rumor be true, I don't. I haven't been myself, but it looks like there's a reward for whatever this is.
So can you make sure to note all of that
rewards.
in your? Yeah. Can you make sure to note all of that in your character sheet, just so we don't forget? Okay. You can write it down on paper now and add it later. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
What's the name of the plains? Shardnock?
Shardnock. And the item appears to be a podcast.
Do I know what that is?
I mean, someone could do.
I can roll.
Someone could roll a check.
It's the weirdest question I have had to ask today.
Yep.
We get a 9.
Okay. Something about this seems familiar to you.
It seems familiar.
Yeah, seems like a common item that it's just on the tip of your tongue. You just can't quite think of what it is. Maybe somebody can help you. You're like, oh, I know what this is, but not quite sure.
Yeah.
I'll roll a survival to see if it's like a fishing utensil.
Okay.
A 9.
A 9. It's a difficult roll, but somehow the fishing word has given you a bonus on this. Roll another dice, please.
I'm gonna say something else.
12.
Okay, and you concentrate really hard and you think, oh, this is a tool for hunting that you don't use, but that you've
That's
come
right.
across.
I wouldn't know
You-
what fishing is really, but hunting is.
No, but you've heard of a thing that some of the weaker species do. They have to fish for their food. It's called sand fishing, and they
Deplorable.
they put podcasts into the sand and let it sink under to hunt for beasts that live under the sand.
Oh, so
And then
just
it clicks,
like how
you
they're
remember.
used today.
Podcasting. It's referred to as podcasting, and they cast out a pod into the sand to catch beasts of the desert.
And these beasts are not fish. They're
No.
They're okay. That's because it's in the dirt.
I mean,
Sandworms.
unless I invent sandfish at some point, which
Right.
is not off the table.
No, never. Never take sandfish off the table.
We haven't ruled it out.
Yeah.
All right, well, I will explain that I've seen the weaker desert folk use such dastardly traps to catch small vermin in the sands, and rather deplorable when you could get such a good beast with your own 2 hands.
It's awful. It's awful. I go ahead and put it in my pack.
Yeah. We should pack
Right.
it. We need to take it. It has a
Maybe
reward tied to it. We need, we're got to be a little greedy here.
Maybe sometime if you find John Scottson, you could return it for. Apart from that,
I look forward to meeting this John Scottson, podcaster extraordinaire. About how long has all of this taken us? How long has since we rested?
since you've explored, I mean, it's maybe been about 5 or 6 hours since your sleep.
We got a lot done. We killed an oozing demon brain sucker.
So we have a decision we have to make. Do we waste time down here and take a rest and leave another day where Dust Hill does not have water? Or do we, in our current condition, attempt to make the climb up the stairs back to the town?
How
I
long
feel
can
like
a...
I could climb.
No.
I'm ready to
It was
go.
about an hour traveling down, going up. It'll probably be about 4 to 5 hours,
The lizard is
depending
injured.
on how much breaks you need to take.
The lizard is injured, but I think he's shown himself to be pretty resilient. I don't see any reason why we should wait here. We can rest when we're dead.
Well, that's a very positive outlook on our situation, Nash. Thank you so much for offering that. If everyone's good to continue, I think we can.
Yeah. So here will be your options. You can go up at normal speed, pushing yourself without taking breaks. You'll suffer 2 levels of exhaustion. It'll take you about 4 hours. You could take periodic breaks, short rests on your way up. It'll take 8 hours to climb. You'll suffer 1 level of exhaustion. Or you can take a full 12 hours to climb up, taking frequent breaks, making sure everyone's got water, food, and you'll suffer no level of exhaustion.
And the fourth option is that we could camp here.
You could camp now. Those would still be your options. It's an hour. It's a couple of miles worth of climbing upstairs. I don't know if you ever climbed stairs lately, but I climbed 3 flights the other day and I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah.
So
The reason I asked that is the math works out in my head, and I'm probably wrong here, but if we did that 6-hour rest thing, where some keep
Yeah.
watch and whatever, we would be able to wake up and be out of there and make it home in 6 hours instead of 12 of periodic resting, which is the same thing. Because we're gonna get
Either
there.
way, you'll suffer. Either way, without the rest now, later you'll still suffer levels of exhaustion from the climb if you push it.
Looks like mechanically, one level of exhaustion gives us disadvantage on ability checks. The second one is half speed. So I don't care about half speed as much as all our ability checks will suck if we do this too fast, no matter what.
Yeah.
So I say we take it easy because we're injured, and there was reserve water, right? Like when we asked the Hillmaster, I guess he probably didn't dispense that since he's dead.
Well, plus we're there by that river that tasted so good, right? We haven't had any ill effects from that.
Speaking of which, it maybe went without saying, but I have water skin now, and I would fill that with water while I was down here.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no
You fill it
kidding.
with delicious water.
Yeah, tasty magic water.
Everyone fills their packs if they have one.
Mm-hmm.
Vorel, do you have storage glands for water?
No, I have a water skin. That's what I was using when I first visited the well. before I
Okay,
had it.
perfect.
That's my
Yeah, that's
only-
right. That's right.
My only body possession.
Cool. All right, so everyone fills up their water skins. Are we camping or are we moving ahead?
I feel like we need to get there sooner than later.
Mm.
The town wasn't even thirsty, and they were already tearing each other apart.
Okay, so is everyone in agreement?
I think
Here. We didn't crush eggs, so I fear the ascent will be full of more spiders. So, what if we hurried for part of the way, and then took a rest after the spiders when we knew we were no longer under attack?
Mm,
I'm good with that.
I'm with Varel.
So you could take a short rest on the stairs. I don't know about. You could try sleeping on the stairs.
No,
I don't
that was never my intention.
Okay, all right. I thought that's what you were getting at. Okay.
It's merely that we would move at a bit of a haste through the spidered area, and then upon reaching the Dreamer's Dream landing, we
okay,
could
so
take a
you'd
little...
push it for 2 hours and then take all the time you needed after.
Yeah.
This would be 4 hours for a full push to the top. Okay. Perfect. It's what you do. So you get ready to leave. You climb up back where the Hillmaster's corpse is. It stinks. It's very smelly in that part of the area now. Just like a corpse, like just it's offensive to your senses.
So it's gotten
You
worse, right?
You climb through. You close it. Oh, it's much worse from when it was there.
Okay.
It's rotted. The corpse is bloated. The flesh is bloated. You take care not to touch it in case it bursts. You close
In
the.
case it bursts. Ugh.
Yeah, well, when a corpse dies, right, it bloats.
No,
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Like a
dropping
Diablo.
65 gold.
Yeah,
It won't burst. It won't explode, but like a bunch of liquid might come flying out.
A blue item and some gold will pop out. Yeah.
Yeah. So you close the trap door behind you. You get set for the climb. 2 hours goes by. Your body's your thigh muscles and calves are on fire. You all wish that you would die. This is the most painful thing you've experienced yet, is a 2-hour climb of stairs. But it happens with that event. You hear the usual noises of wind and rocks tumbling here and there, but it is without event after 2 hours. You make the switch to a slower pace, taking rests, and you climb the whole way up, having so 2, and we would say 6. So taking your time, you make it to the top without suffering any levels of exhaustion after between 8 to 10 hours.
Oh.
Your journey is finally over, but everyone's legs are they feel broken. You know when you walked around IKEA for too long and it's only been 30 minutes, you're like, oh god. It's like 10 hours of that. So you guys are feeling the burn. And as you approach, you see that the trap door from the Dragon Engine room is actually wide open. There's no light or anything spilling from it. So you're able to climb in, I assume.
Mhm.
That's what we want to do here.
Yeah.
Okay, you climb in, and again, the room's quiet. The engine's not on. It's as you left it, with the exception, Thomas's corpse is lying on the ground still. You see Holga with the bullet in her head there. You also see the corpse of Dharma, the dwarf you left alive last there, with a sword impaled into his chest.
Oh, I hobble over, crawl out of the pit with my exhaustion, but using my final breaths of energy, I go cradle the body and give a warrior's howl. No!
It echoes all throughout the chamber, and it's very loud because the chamber is that big. Yes, remember that this room is covered. It's a circular room. It's covered on the walls with skulls. There is the dragon engine on a cement block, and there's a larger machine as part of the pump. Hope you take a quick look at some of the gauges and see the ones that were lifeless before are now showing water pressure. That water is being pushed up into the pipe, but not fully through the machinery. In the back, remember, you see there's a bunch of machinery there and a big tank. Looks like a big fuel tank about 8 feet high, used to hold a lot of fuel. And there's the sarcophagus. And then there's a door leading to the exit where the bridge was.
Oh my gosh, the
There
bridge.
are
It's the
2
bridge.
things that I would like to invest
Okay.
before we turn anything on. I would like to investigate what killed Thomas.
Okay.
And I would like to investigate the sarcophagus.
Okay. So roll an investigation check for the corpse of Thomas, Serge.
18.
Okay. So last you remember, Thomas tripped and hit his head, and you weren't quite sure if he was dead or just unconscious. But as you examine the corpse, you actually see you pull him up a bit, and you see a small knife that you don't remember anyone stabbing him in the neck, is driven into his neck.
Jeez. Now this is interesting. I'm not entirely sure what would have killed these people. We can assume maybe Softhead, but don't think Softhead would have thrown the Hillmaster down the hole.
You're speaking to me, sorry?
I'm speaking to everybody.
Hmm.
Okay.
'Cause
All right, well,
I-
while there's... Oh, okay, there's a response coming.
Go ahead.
I mean,
Tom.
if everything stays pretty quiet, and I've had my howl, I will stand and lower gently the body of Dharma and say, 1,000 wrenches was not enough for that wretch.
Wow, this is the most hardcore you've been. Usually you're all honor and glory, but woo.
I'm also going to go investigate the sarcophagus.
Okay. With what sort of skill? When you
Right now,
investigate it, what are
just
you
want
looking
to
for?
look at it, see if there's anything of value on it, see what's up with it. Because right now,
Okay,
all I know is it's a sarcophagus.
All right, well, you take an examination of the sarcophagus. You see that there's a metal band upon his head, a crown. It's standing upright, held together with nails. It's like his bones are sort of nailed into the back of the sarcophagus, nailed into cement. So they're big nails, and the nails are bent to hold the sort of bone structure in there. Otherwise, the bones are relatively intact, maybe held together with some sort of adhesive. You're not quite sure what it is. Nothing of note apart from that,
Can I do an
except that it's human-sized.
Arcana check to see if there's any magic business going on with that thing?
Okay, sure.
Okay. 20 non-natural.
Okay, so you sort of close your eyes a bit and sort of feel out. Use your feelings, Luke. You feel out to see if you can detect anything, and it's the smallest feeling, but you sense something is not. There's something unnatural about the corpse.
There's something
There's,
wrong.
there's a faint energy surrounding its bones, but it's the faintest. You're almost not sure if you're imagining it, but gun to your head, you're like, yes, I'm feeling something. I'm feeling some sort of energy, some sort of pull, something dark.
I feel something. There's something's emanating from the sarcophagus, but I don't know what it is. It's very faint.
Do you
Still
think it's the pact? It's Peter who made the deal with the devil?
It could be, but we have no way of knowing.
Destroy it all. These Hillmasters were corrupted by demons. This city is built on lies, and we are here to cleanse it with purifying cool water.
It's another excuse for the lizard to swim. I know it. I can feel it.
So are you
Alright.
destroying it, Vorel, or what is
I mean, I'm definitely pretty huffy at the moment. I understand that these are all machines beyond my understanding, and this sarcophagus is partially part of that magic. So, I mean, I'm definitely, flexing the old fists and wanting to send him down the shaft as well.
okay?
As long as he doesn't touch the machines, I don't care.
Yeah, I feel like this is what's good for the lizard is good for the gander, and let's do it. There's no reason for us to preserve this. Let's destroy it.
Okay, so you're gonna destroy the skeleton?
Yeah, the sarcophagus, destroy it all. And if unless Stanley has any misgivings about what we're doing.
No, I'm just looking at it, taking it all in. I'm not gonna stop or help.
Okay, so can someone describe what they're doing to me?
All right, you said the skeleton is stapled into the erect sarcophagus.
Yeah. It's no
Then
match for your strength. You could probably pull it out.
Yeah. So I'll walk up and you'll take it by the shoulder and the neck and try to pull the whole skeleton out with the intention of walking over to the pit and giving it the Hillmaster send-off of throwing it down the stairs.
The Hillmaster send up. As you grab it, you feel an energy into your body, and it's sort of you feel the sense of fear and panic like you've never felt before. You feel that there's an intelligence detecting a hostile intention and that you've been caught. And you recoil as you grab it. You recoil somewhat and let it go. And as you let it go,
Ooh, against my will.
a dark black mist starts seeping from the bones, and it starts filling the room. And thing you know, the room is starting to fill with this black, ethereal smoke. And in front of all of you, as you stare at what's happening, this form takes shape, humanoid in nature, but not solid, and says, "Fools, what have you done?" And that's it for this week.
Yeah! Oh, I want to know what this is. This is gonna go great. This guy here. All right.
Got a really good history of meeting new people. I think this is
Particularly
gonna
leaders.
go well.
So before we wrap things up, though, I would like to congratulate everyone on reaching level 2.
What?
Yeah!
Oh my gosh! There's the level sound. We did it.
I was waiting to see if you'd grab a rest or not, but I think this is a good juncture. You rested at some point on the way up the stairs, so you feel your knowledge coming together, and you have the ability to utilize new techniques through your additional level.
Fantastic.
Level 2.
That feels like a milestone to me.
Yeah, so I think that means you're going to get an action surge, Hope.
Yeah.
John will be able to restore his inspiration with short rests.
Hey.
There'll be... I don't know what
I don't
barbarians
think-
get.
Does that change at level 2? I don't think I get anything at level 2 except a new
You do.
spell.
No,
Do I?
you get a new spell and you get additional. You get. I can't remember what it's called, but I think rather than be long rests, you can take short rests to restore your dice. I think.
Prestidigitation 2, the sequel.
Oh, good. Yes.
So you'll have access to new spells, Nash. I don't think you get. You might get your spell points, your meta magic stuff too. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, congratulations everyone.
Well done,
on
everybody.
Making it
So-
this far and not dying.
Just a quick question, because we're saying that happened during our rest up the stairs, right?
Yeah.
So does that put us all at full hit points?
Oh,
Just
good.
say yes for the convenience of it. Sure.
Okay.
And
So-
what
so
about
just-
spells?
Just restore yourselves. It's fine. Just refresh everything. give yourself
Just
level
take
2.
it all.
Nice.
Just
Figure it out later.
We don't want to spend too much time micromanaging it like on the next episode or something. We'll just jump right into the action
Right.
with full level 2.
Sure.
Well done. A great adventure behind us, more in front of us, obviously, for session 5, which will happen next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Frogpants.tv. Well done, Bo. That was awesome today. And well done, fellow adventurers.
Thank you, Nash. I'll get you next time.
Don't forget, send your messages to us or your thoughts or your whatever over there at There Be Dungeons on Twitter. We're going to make that a very active place for you to interact with. Send your cool fan art, that kind of stuff. And there'll be more information over at therewillbedungeons.com. That's therewillbedungeons.com. Follow John at John_Jagger. Follow Bo at Bo Schwartz. Follow me at Scott Johnson. Follow Kristen at Dream Destroyer. It's DRM. Spell for me.
DRMDESTRYR.
There you go. Follow that. And then Kyle Ferguson is at Kyle Ferguson. It's as simple as that. It's like Scott Johnson kind of works out really well. Thank you all for being here. Thank you everybody who tuned in live. We'll be back next week with more. We'll see you for the next There Will Be Dungeons. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Frog Pants Network. Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.